In my previous video, I've explained the concept of SUMIF and how it is different from the concept of SUM. Now take an example of another function that is known as SUMIFS. As the formula itself explains, SUM means to add some numbers and IFS means there's a condition. And it is not if, it is IFS. That means the condition must be more than one. Now take an example where we are going to use these SUMIFS function. Suppose you are working in an FMCG company, for example Bajaj Electricals, and you want to know the sale of the ceiling fan in Indore. So you will have to find out from the different category of the products, you have to find out the ceiling fan, and there will be different cities. Then you'll have to find out the sale of ceiling fan in Indore. So the another criteria is there's two criteria. There's two conditions. One is ceiling fan and another condition is Indore. So in this way, we have to use not SUMIF, but SUMIFS function. Another example, if you are an HR manager and you want to know about the performance of your employees in particular state and in month, suppose you want to know about the performance of your employee in North region in the month of May. So there's two things. One is region and another is month. So in this way, you'll have to go for the SUMIFS, not the SUM. So now let's start the SUMIFS function. The question here is you'll have to find out the total sales of furniture in Goa. So now let's start. I'll just remind you again, every formula start with an equal to sign. So I'm placing equal to sign. Then in place of SUMIF, this time I'm using SUMIFS. There are basically three arguments in this particular formula. One is sum range, criteria range 1 and criteria 1. There's no need to remember or just remember the formula. You'll have to only understand each and every argument of the formula. So then you can automatically able to understand that which value is going to be placed in for a particular argument. This first argument is sum range. We have already discussed that sum means to add. So sum range is always a range, that is group of cells with having some numbers. Here the sum range is basically the sales. So we are selecting entire the range, that is sum, all the sales values. Then there is a comma. The comma is criteria range 1. Our first criteria, we want to know about the sales of the furniture category. So the range is the group of cells. So here the range is this particular column where all the categories are mentioned. Then comma. Then there is another argument is criteria 1. The first criteria, we want to know about the furniture, the sale of furniture in Goa. So I'm writing furniture. You'll have to please make sure that spelling is correct. Otherwise, they are not able to identify the criteria. As it is a textual criteria, so there is no need to write an equal to sign. Then comma. Then there is a criteria range 2. The criteria range 2 is basically the states. So I'm selecting all the states. Then we'll have to find out the sale of furniture in Goa. So the criteria 2 is the state in which I want to find out the sales. So I'm writing Goa. So this is, you'll have to understand one, the first criteria is sum range. Sum range is a group of cells for which we'll have to go for the calculation. We have to perform the sum function. Another is criteria range 1, criteria 1, and you can add n number of criterias and criteria ranges. You'll have to understand in every time you'll have to write criteria range first and then the associated criteria. Then you'll go for the second criteria range and the associated criteria for that particular range. And this will give us the total sales of furniture in the state, that is Goa. So this is what, so they have added the values of Goa. So first they have added this particular value, that is furniture. Another, this they have ignored this part of the Goa because they are the category is office supplies. Then they have to go for another option, that is furniture, that is again this one, and that's it. So that is 104463 and 48. This will give you the value of 1093, that is sale of furniture in the state Goa. So this is the brief about the function SUMIFS. With my previous video and this video, I think you would be clear of the three functions, that is SUM, SUMIF and SUMIFS. Please like or subscribe my channel to learn Excel from basic to advanced. In the next video, I would be sharing another function, that is count, and how the count is different from count if and count ifs.